your body with complete multivitamin, the perfect balance of essential nutrients for daily health and wellness. Carefully formulated from natural ingredients, our multivitamin packs vitamins A, C, D, E, plus key minerals like zinc and magnesium to support your immune system and boost energy. Just one tablet a day is all you need. Take it with water and feel the difference as prescribed by your healthcare provider. Stay active, stay strong, stay ready with Complete Multivitamin, your daily dose of vitality. Complete Multivitamin, simple, powerful nutrition. Go get this product at blackhotfirenetwork.com at the Sports and Nutrition. Beetroot, nature's powerhouse. Packed with vitamins, antioxidants and nitrates, it's known to support heart health, boost stamina, and improve blood circulation. Our beetroot is naturally grown and harvested at peak ripeness. The roots are cleaned, dried, and finely ground to preserve their rich nutritional content, giving you all the benefits in one pure form. Add 1 teaspoon of beetroot powder to your juice, smoothie, or water, or take it in capsule form as recommended by your healthcare provider. Beetroot helps enhance endurance, lower blood pressure, and keep you feeling energized and balanced all day. Fuel your body with the natural power of beetroot. Stay strong, stay healthy. Go get this product at blackhotfirenetwork.com at the Sports and Nutrition Store.
Well, good afternoon, family. Hope your day is going great and smooth. 1 minute past 8 p.m. right here in the 254, and karibuni sana to yet another beautiful discussion of the Africa Today Show. My name is Joby, to those who are here for the first time, and karibuni sana once again. And yes, my day has been great. It's been a beautiful weather, actually very favorable for our outfit, especially for us as girls today. It was really a good weather. So yes, karibuni. As today we talk about the Gullah Geechee and the FBA and Tasha K, literally our major conversation for today. But of course, being on a Wednesday, you guys know that I do share some amazing conversations based on history regarding us as Black people globally, because it's history that connects us literally globally as Black people, because we share the same culture. We share the same, as much as Kid talks about culture a lot, and we've seen when you talk about culture, African people, how when they come to America describing culture, Black Americans describing culture is actually totally two different things. But if you actually dig well and deeper into history, the culture is all the same. We share so much in similar. It's just how you actually understand it. And again, I was talking about critical thinking earlier today. It's about you being open-minded to tap into new conversations or new information, new experiences. That's the only way you can be able to learn so much. But yes, karibuni once again. As we get started today, I'm going to share a video which talks about how Black families reunions outsmarted sundowns. Of course, recently we've seen so many cases of what is happening, especially with Black people. The Black, I want to call the Black Lives Matter bullshit, but it's not been able to help in any sort of way. Black people are losing their lives left, right, and center, including especially teenagers. There's a video I saw today. I was like, I'm not even going to share this because it was so heartbreaking. This is becoming now a norm. And sadly, it's globally. We are under attack as Black people. We are under attacks. So of course, today being on a Wednesday, today I'm going to share a video which showcases, rather literally shares a history of how we did beat sundown towns. We know, of course, we have the Green Book, right, which showed us the directions to take, where to be, where not to be, the routes to avoid, and so much. But let's learn today a few things as we continue.
Reunion. It's easy to, when you see matching t-shirts and potato salad at a Black family reunion, it's easy to just see a summer cookout plus family. But that's not the truth. For Black people, the first family reunions had nothing to do with potato salad or leisure. They were heavily funded, desperate rescue missions to piece together 4 million broken families. So Join us today while we talk about the history of the Black Family Reunion. I'm your host, Country Boy. If you like stories like this, you can find more stories like this at withmyhistory.com. Also, join me at my Substack. It is linked in the description below. But without further ado, let's get started. Before we talk about us, we had to look at how the American Family Reunion got started. It wasn't a cultural tradition. It was a product of the Industrial Revolution. Before the 1850s, families didn't hold reunions because they never left each other. They lived and died on the exact same farm in the exact same area. When factories started booming, millions of young white Americans left the countryside and flooded into the cities for wage jobs. By the 1870s, railroad monopolies realized that they could cash in on this homesickness. They started selling cheap excursion tickets for $1 or $2, marketing weekend trips back to the country. Add in the 1876 American Centennial, which sparked a massive national obsession with tracing one's family roots, and the modern family reunion was born. White families rented parks, printed out ledgers to prove their European ancestry. They had picnics. It was purely about nostalgia. But for Black folks, the first family reunions had nothing to do with potato salad and catching up. To understand the Black family reunion, you have to look at the transatlantic slave trade because everything starts there. Between 1790 and 1860, enslavers sold more than 1 million Black folks into brutal cotton and sugar fields in the Deep South. Tearing Black families apart wasn't a tragic accident. It was a deliberate business model to break the spirits, stop uprising, and obviously make millions of dollars. When emancipation happened in 1865, though, 4 million people were freed overnight, but that freedom didn't come with a tracking system. The United States government did nothing to reunite lost husbands, wives, children that had been sold away. So newly freed Black folks went to work. They created the very first version of the Black Family Reunion in the classified section of Black newspapers. We placed thousands of information wanted ads in papers like the Southwestern Christian Advocate. A single ad usually costs $1.50. But you have to understand that math. For a newly freed person making literal pennies a day, trapped in the sharecropping system, $1.50 was a massive sum of money. It was often more than a week's wages. People spent their entire life savings to print physical descriptions of children who had been sold away 20 or 30 years ago. They paid money, printed ads, and hoped that someone would read it out loud in a church pulpit in another state. They searched for a scar on a cheek, a missing toe, the last known name of a person that had been bought. The first family reunions weren't parties. They were just trying to piece their families back together. Fast forward to the start of the Great Migration. Between 1916 and 1970, 6 million Black folks fled the South and they took whatever they could carry on segregated trains to Chicago, Detroit, Philadelphia, Oakland. They took factory jobs and built completely different lives, but the South still held their roots. They held their grandparents who was too old to make the trip, cousins who stayed to tithe the land, and eventually we went back down to the South to visit. This is where the first modern Black family reunions were forged, driving back down to Mississippi, Georgia, Alabama, the Carolinas in the 1930s, 1940s. It wasn't a vacation. It was incredibly dangerous. You couldn't just hop on a highway and enjoy the ride. The car gave Black folks mobility, but it also made them a target. Black drivers had to navigate hundreds of sundown towns.
And of course, for me, remembering all these kind of stories you've shared, we have one thing I've learned. We have the green book, which showed directions and all that, the places to avoid. We had the lunch box. Was it the lunch box? Yeah. Was it called the lunch box or the shoe box? The shoe box, right? The shoe box, right? Exactly. The shoe box, which it was used to pack some certain meals, that white people gave Black people, thinking that, this is trash, and Black people found ways of making it super, super amazing. And then what else? What else have I learned? So far, I think those are the two key major, especially the green book, because it's always revised in every of these histories. I think that is one of the major key most discussed on how it helped and saved the Black community to actually get to safer places, right? And then we have the shoebox, which now we see how having the green book, knowing where to stop, you know, where not to go to. You had some food you could carry with you, where the Black women found ways, of course, of making our food, which we still do. Man, I love cooking personally. Hey, man, I love any chance I get of cooking. Trust me, I'm taking advantage of it. If there's something personally I've actually realized, every time I go to a place, even where people don't know me, and I find them cooking, because food is just, I feel like a symbol of not only just uniting people, but of showing love or affection, or I don't know, food just brings so much, you know, food brings so much. If you get me, if you understand what I'm trying to say. But yes, if personally I go to places, like I find these, even if it's a party, like even a studio, we're chilling with some of my friends and food is included. Trust me, I'm the one cooking. I don't care. I'm not those type of women who, well, don't go to places and then don't try touch a pot. I'm touching a pot because I want to be sure of what I'm eating. I'm sorry. I want to be sure of what I'm eating. I want to ensure what I'm eating is delicious. And apart from that, one thing I've actually understood, even Shmani says it, my art of love, one of my act of love actually is cooking. I love hosting. I love hosting. I love cooking. So if I cook for you and you love the food, like, yeah, you're welcome. And again and again and again and again. But I'd never cook, of course, for someone I don't like. You go get the food in the restaurant or something. Go get the food at the restaurant or something. But yeah, that was one of my form of act of love. Literally, I love hosting and cooking so much because I love people enjoying my food so much.
They couldn't pull over and eat at white-owned restaurants. They couldn't use the bathroom at gas stations off the highway.
Exactly. Because remember when we had the discussion, there's one of the videos we shared literally from still the same page. When people or when Black people could stop at certain joints like the gas station, they couldn't use the washrooms. They couldn't get food there. The gas station joints, they have, of course, some food stations, like maybe it could be McDonald's, Popeyes, whatever, KFC. But Black people had to carry their own food. They had to carry their own food.
If your car broke down on a dirt road in some bumblefuck ass town, you had zero backup. So this is where you start to see people start relying on things like the Negro Motorist Green Book to find safe houses.
Exactly.
They packed shoebox lunches that wouldn't spoil
Exactly. The green book, the shoebox.
in a hot car. They bought large, heavy cars so they had the physical space to sleep inside them instead of trying to rent a room at a white motel. They carried extra fan belts and spare tires and heavy gas cans in the trunk so they could survive the drive without having to stop.
It makes sense. Now this actually really makes sense because I never understood the theory of Black people always having an extra tire at the back of the truck. Oh my God, it actually really makes sense. And this is how we learn stuff. Because oh my God, all my life, it used to surprise me how someone's cars would break down, a tire maybe is flat, and of course, there's no any near station where you can pump your tire to get the air. So you need to have an extra tire that is already pumped, with air for you to continue the journey. So all you have to do is have the proper tools again at the back of your boot. That is the tire, the tools to open and to unlock all those bolts. I'm learning. So pardon me if I say something wrong, but I'm learning parts of the cars. So pardon me. Yeah, but to unlock the bolts, I never understood the theory about it, but this actually makes sense. This because it's rooted from history. Black people could not rely on anyone. Black people could not get help from anyone if it's not from their own people who in majority they were running for safety, running to save their family and their loved ones. You had to have an extra tire with you. Wow.
Every single trip down south was a massive risk, and it was funded by families pooling together money to make sure that everybody got home alive. So when we finally did show up in Mississippi, in Alabama, the family reunion, it was like a roll call. Before the internet, before cell phones, before landlines, this was the time of year where a fractured family could stand in one place and physically verify that everybody made it another year. They found out who got the union job up north, who had a baby, who was still trapped under the thumb of Jim Crow. But they couldn't rely on state parks of white-owned venues. During segregation, black folks were legally banned from public beaches and municipal parks. If a family of 200 people wanted to gather together for 2 or 3 days, they had to build their own venues themselves. Because local governments offered zero protection and zero resources, families had to operate like independent organizations. This is exactly why we have reunion dues, planning committees, treasurers today. They had to collect dues all year long. They pooled their money to rent black-owned spaces and wholesale food for hundreds of people.
What is so sad to listen to this and now looking at even the topic we're about to discuss today is to see that black people have really forgotten where they came from, or there's that lost knowledge, there's that gap of information of what black people really had to go through to just be free. You know, that's the saddest part. For real, for real. Like, being honest, that's the saddest part, that people have lost knowledge along the way, what their ancestors, generations went through for them to be even who they are today. Frankly speaking, you know, because when you're listening to this, how families had to survive from one town to another, their routes you can't take, the sun shouldn't find you somewhere. Oh my God. Like, and then today we have the so-called FBAs, we have the so-called Indians, we have tribalism in Africa. You know, it's really, really crazy. But on this aspect, I'm going to focus, of course, on the Black American history. It's really, really sad, being honest, to see that all this information has been lost along generations, and there's been division, of course, systematically caused, because today I was talking about critical thinking again on my show, and understanding how critical thinking has been lost amongst the people globally, whether black or white. Literally, critical thinking is not there at all, which I keep on talking about every single day. Understanding it is because it's systematically designed for us to not critically think, you know, from education to religion to media to entertainment to politics. So many things. People cannot critically think. So that's why it's really it's all connected, literally.
People, just so we could safely gather for a weekend. And these weren't small backyard barbecues. As families grew over generations, the reunions scaled up to include hundreds, sometimes thousands of people. They rented out entire hotel blocks. Planning committees started meeting right after the last family reunion, setting up formal boards and presidents and secretaries. They built out 3-day itineraries, a Friday meet and greet, a Saturday picnic and workshop, and Sundays always ended with church service to ground the family together in faith and to give thanks for another year. Reunion committees did much more than just buy hot dogs. They functioned as an internal bank. If a cousin in Detroit was short on rent, the reunion fund could help them out. If a kid in Atlanta wanted to go to college but couldn't get a loan from a white bank, the family reunion committee wrote scholarship checks. If an elder passed, the reunion fund sometimes paid for their burial. They also use this weekend to educate the youth. White society is not teaching Black history in school. So the family reunion...
Of course it's not, because remember last week we checked, and we checked so many, like literally so many, we checked actually almost 30, was it 30? Yeah, almost 30 skills, 30 money, generational skills. Okay, let me say generational money skills that have been lost within the Black community. We saw that last week. If in case you didn't or you missed the show, you can check that. Last week we shared some really beautiful, amazing video which shows you how Black people used to survive. That's what I'm saying. It's really sad to see, literally, and Kid says it. Today, Black people have lost unity. Black people have lost, Black people have lost themselves. The Black people have lost, and it's not everyone. Of course, I'm not gonna throw everyone under the basket, or under the bus, not the basket, the bus, the basket. I'm not gonna throw everyone under the bus, but Black people, we've really, really lost each other. We've lost our dignity, we've lost ourselves, we've lost our culture, we've lost our history. Because if this type of history is kept alive and taught in schools again, we'll grow up with so much spirit again, with always wanting to fight. I always keep saying that if Black people actually are taught the truth, we'd fight. We'd really fight. We'd grow. I feel like I'll have grown up with so much rage, anger of wanting to fight for my continent. But now, if you look at it today, it's a few percentage of us who can think out of the box and be comfortable with finding out what's actually outside the box.
And sometimes became a formal classroom. Elders sat the youth down and taught them their family tree, passed down work ethic and survival skills. They made the kids sit down and listen, to understand Black history, to understand why we were gathering at all, to make sure the bloodline and the ancestors' names weren't erased by a country who never wanted them to know where they came.
Exactly, because even it's crazy, because now looking at it, even in Africa, we had storytelling. We had storytellers. Man, I think I'm gonna use great double times. Our great grandparents, literally. Great. That is before our grandparents. So that is 3 generations or 4 generations. My parents, my grandparents, my great grandparents, my great grandparents. That is 4 generations actually. Like ago, 4 generations ago, or 4 generations back. Because that's when we used to have this storytelling. Like Africa storytelling was so alive. And maybe you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if you guys grew up with the same storytelling, but for us we had it. Like, the gathering, especially let's say like a time like this at 8 p.m. when we have our moms, our sisters, our elder sisters or aunties cooking food. And then I'm talking about this from the angle where now Africans, we were living in harmony, like, in the same community. We have my grandparents, my great-grandparents' house probably there, my grandparents' house there, my parents' house there. Our firstborn, if it's a brother, of course, his house is also there. Like you had the whole community within one compound. So when the grandchildren actually are born, they are born in the same compound, knowing how to preserve culture, traditions, and they grow up now. There's, again, at a time like this, firewood is gathered, in the middle of the compound, it's lit, and then the grandparents come and they're storytelling to the rest of us. Our history, not just storytellings of the rabbits and the tortoise, which was slow and which one was fast. No, real history. Being taught culture and traditions. There was time for that. Not the rabbits and whatever we've been told. Nope. But sadly, this is not here today.
Came from in the first place. In the end, it's incredibly easy to look at the matching shirts, the electric slide, the spades tables, and see just another cookout. But when you look at the facts, the Black Family Reunion is a publicly funded safety net. Every matching shirt, every scholarship check, every roll call is a direct continuation of a system that started in 1865. It was built by people who looked at a country that tried to permanently break their bloodlines and simply refused to let that happen. Thank you. This has been One My Black History. I'm your host, Country Boy. This is the Black Family Reunion. I went to my wife.
Yeah, so again, that is yet another beautiful story, and I hope you guys get to enjoy it. I see Ricky says we just lost our history, not our culture. Well, the culture is lost, whether you want to agree or not, Ricky. You know, we can agree to disagree, but if you go back to like the yesterday conversation we were talking about why black men are running away from black women, why yeah, why black men are running away from black women, you understand that actually the culture is completely lost. Because as black people, again, I always say sometimes I don't know how I have some certain information, but I feel like maybe probably I'm an old soul for real, and I have come back with some certain knowledge, because some of the things I have, it's not like I've not experienced or lived that life long enough. I'm just 27. So everything that I talk about sometimes is out of this experience, but I have knowledge that I have not experienced. But yes, how black culture has been lost. Yes, you're saying we've lost our history, but not our culture. Our culture has been lost. It has been lost. And I'll tell you why. We've been talking about so many things. I've learned so many things, even under what we talk about every single day, from the music to the movies, the presentation of ourselves. Of course, you know, the movies, the music, everything is controlled and all that. But I feel like along everything, and goes back to what we were talking about yesterday, even the delusion of the women, the delusional mindset of the women that they have today. And sadly, it's not even just black American women. The delusional mindset is actually, I think, right now everywhere. Everywhere. So many people are delusional. We've lost our culture in believing what the white people have been feeding us without understanding why people are stealing to live the comfortable life they live. They have not earned it, they have not worked for it, not even one bit. Unlike for us, through slavery, through colonization, however you want to call it, we've earned every single cent, every life that we're living today. Okay? So have we lost our culture? Or I'd call it our dignity. I love calling it our dignity more than even the culture, because before the culture, there's the dignity, which the dignity within you as an African preserves your culture. Okay? Have we lost our dignity? A good example is the bootlickers we have of puppets. You know, our puppets. These people have completely lost their dignity and showing we're not worth respect. We're worth having white men telling us what to do every single now and then. Okay, that aside, when you come to the black woman, you know, how have we lost our culture? So many things. Skin bleaching, the not embracing our hairs, so many things, literally. Our culture has been lost, where we want to keep up with the narrative of the white people. So if you argue about history being lost and not the culture, actually I'll say both. Both for me. Because if I'm to expand that conversation on a wider perspective, I won't finish right now, being honest. I won't finish right now because we've lost in so many ways. We've lost in so many ways. That's why there's always this argument. Just a good example to give you, Ricky. A good example is this argument between Africans and Black Americans about who has the best culture and who doesn't. It's like on both ends, there's someone, of course, who is playing a role of making us think we actually are completely different. But again, if you look at it, that's what I'm saying. With these Wednesday stories that I keep sharing, when you look at most of these stories, there's nothing different between you and I. We share the same cultures. Maybe there's a difference in maybe the brutality you faced during slavery and all that. Maybe there's a difference in a few things. But when you talk about who we are as a people, what we do, the food we eat, where it originates from, it's all the same. It's all the same. And where the culture has been lost is that argument of who is better than who, which one is better than which. You know, I don't know if it really makes sense, but I feel like that's my argument on that. You're also saying that I bet families is only one still have family reunion 4 times a year over 55 years. Being honest, I don't think we even have family reunions anymore. Family reunions are so dead. Like the last time personally I had a serious family reunion was on a burial. It's crazy. I know it sounds crazy, but yes, the only time we have family reunions nowadays as Africans is only on a burial when someone is dead. Okay, and the last time we had a serious family reunion when my mom was alive in 2011, 2012, I guess. Being honest. Was it? Yeah, I think 2011, 2012, 2013 there. That was the only time we had a serious, everyone, me knowing my extended cousins, my extended family. That was the only time. But the other time was during burial. Like African people, we don't value those kind of small things, which actually used to make us again stronger as a people, as a community. It's really, really crazy. But anyway, as we shift the conversation, I don't know where Keith is today. He's gonna come here saying I didn't notify him about the show. I did. Bet is on TikTok right now, probably, or maybe on a phone call. I have no goddamn idea, but we continue. We continue. As we continue, we have this video. I'm gonna share it. I think this part of what we were discussing yesterday. Then I'll cue the TikTok videos as we go.
This is quite possibly the most fucked up thing I have ever uploaded on the internet. Whoever's watching this, I beg you, watch this till the end and share it with everyone in your fucking circle.
People can now pay for priority hurricane evacuation, meaning survival could be determined by wealth. A new company, Priority Evac, just launched a membership program to provide the service during hurricane season. For $12.50 a year, you guarantee yourself an evacuation for 2 hurricanes from June through November. Pets cost extra. This feels a bit like the Titanic when first-class passengers were prioritized over working-class ones. Unfortunately, it's nothing new. Studies frequently show that wealthier neighborhoods are able to evacuate disasters, whereas lower-income neighborhoods aren't. Money gives people the power to get on flights, drive, and get lodging. During the LA wildfires, victims contracted private firefighters to get protection faster. And often disaster relief funds prioritize wealthier areas. All of this just worsens inequality in the US. But as companies like this start popping up more, will evacuations and disaster relief become completely privatized? And if so, what happens to the people who can't pay for it? Because under the Trump administration, emergency relief programs have been slashed as well as weather monitoring. Meanwhile, natural disasters are only getting worse and worse. Priority Evac says it's here to help the prepared household. In reality, it's for the wealthy household. This is the new American disaster response.
Yeah, so this is crazy, you know. There we go. There goes Mr. Blackout Fire. How are you doing?
Yeah, sorry. I'm doing my black job like jibber jabber. Unlike Ricky ass, I don't got $300,000 I can take out and goddamn 401k. No good bastard. I ain't got that kind of bread. I got to stay. Oh my God, I'm so drenched. Man. And this other Greek. Man, y'all know how it is in damn Louisiana right now. I don't know what to tell you, man. Jesus H. Christ. The humidity is killing my ass.
Sorry.
Jesus.
Sorry
Oh my God.
Yeah, I was saying, I didn't know you were at your black job. I thought you were there still scrolling on TikTok, you know, watching stuff.
No, Joe. I got extra work. I can't be in a nice office. I can't be in a nice office and chill, drink sparkling water, and all that kind of shit like you guys. I gotta be in my black. I gotta be in my black job. in the heat. God damn it.
Continue. So yeah, we have this video of the okay, so this usually talks about how people are going to have to pay if they want to be rescued for any kind of natural disaster, natural disaster, right?
What?
Yeah. Things like
I thought just getting low budget like Africa. They ain't stolen all the money. Now they all the institutions, they robbed all the institutions for all the money. They thought you were going to pay to get rescued. No, that's what I pay taxes for. You know, that's what we pay taxes for. Okay? That's why we got to pay taxes. That pays for all that. We don't live in a third world country. We're not in no African or South American country or Caribbean. We're not in Jamaica. It's America. That's right. We're not in Jamaica or Haiti while we pay taxes. So these institutions will work. That's all this tax dollars going for. They ain't going to just get nobody no money. When we have search and rescue, that came from the taxes of that particular state. He talking about I'm going to pay for you to come rescue me, and I'm paying taxes, and it goes into that fund. Sound crazy as cat shit. You better get shit together.
This is quite possibly the most fucked up thing I have ever uploaded on the internet. Whoever's watching this, I beg you, watch this till the end and share it with everyone in your fucking circle.
People can now pay for priority hurricane evacuation, meaning survival could be determined by wealth. A new company, Priority Evac, just launched a membership program to provide the service during hurricane season. For $12.50 a year,
this is some third world shit. This is some third world shit. I told you they didn't turn us to the third world. Told they didn't turn us to the third world. Where's the tax money going for that particular agent? I mean, for that specific agency that we pay taxes to, that's supposed to fund that. But we got to pay all these taxes everywhere. We're the most taxed people on the planet. Talking about now got to be somebody rich to pay somebody. It sounds crazy as cat shit. Yeah, I told you. America only gonna change this is revolution time.
Guarantee yourself an evacuation for 2 hurricanes from June through November. Pets cost extra. This feels a bit like the Titanic when first-class passengers were prioritized over working-class ones. Unfortunately, it's nothing new. Studies frequently show that wealthier neighborhoods are able to evacuate disasters, whereas lower-income neighborhoods aren't. Money gives people the power to get on flights, drive, and get lodging. During the LA wildfires, victims contracted private firefighters to get protection faster. And often disaster relief funds prioritize wealthier areas. All of this just worsens inequality in the U.S. But as companies like this start popping up more, will evacuations and disaster relief become completely privatized? And if so, what happens to the people who can't pay for it? Because under the Trump administration, emergency relief programs have been slashed, as well as weather monitoring. Meanwhile, natural disasters are only getting worse and more frequent. Priority Evac says it's here to help the prepared household. In reality, it's for the wealthy household. This is the new American disaster response.
If this doesn't concern you, I genuinely do not think there's anything on this earth that will bother you.
Yeah, so this is really crazy. And the fact that we know during times like wildfires, like the Maui wildfire, we had some few houses of the billionaire class who were saved. So many houses, just like she said, you'll find that so many houses of these people with money, Oprah and the rest, they're always protected, but the people without the wealth, let's call it that, the wealth, they cannot be protected. It's really, really crazy. And there's never compensation for these damages.
I'm going to be asking the American people to continue to help fund the needs of these people. It's not going to be one hit and it's over. It's going to take a hell of a long time. It's going to cost a hell of a lot of money. This is the United States of America.
This was during Biden's time, and you can see this is being pushed right now during Trump's time. So it's actually tells you
exactly. So just the same thing. It doesn't make a difference. Exactly. There's no different parties. All that stuff. That's the stuff they get to the dummies. Like it's a difference. There's no difference.
So Biden is asking the American people to fund their own relief when they're already suffering. But he can send billions of dollars to other countries who are in need. How about we put our own...
all other countries.
So Biden, where are you? Trump was just in Valdosta, Georgia. Also, Ms. Harris, why are you living it up in Vegas right now? Our country is literally underwater. Biden pretty much just said F you to the American people. Gotta love this administration.
I'm going to be asking the American people to continue to help fund the needs of these people.
Right.
You're going to love this. So, in case you forgot, I worked in emergency management in Florida for multiple hurricanes over many years, in addition to my work with the Department of Health tracking COVID-19. And apparently a private company has launched that's called Priority Evac, which promises to escort in a priority fashion with a full flight to Atlanta anybody who's willing to pay $12.50 a year in insurance or membership for up to 2 hurricanes a year to get priority evacuation. Now, what happens when there's a hurricane? First, all airports become designated as under the emergency management scope. And prioritization is given to medical evacs, first and foremost, emergency planning and response teams, public officials, if they're coming in, let's say, to oversee a response, things like that. They're not all flights that end up going out, especially the nearer you get to a hurricane, are designated as highest priority. A bunch of fucking rich people are not highest priority. People who are medically vulnerable, who are in the most physical danger based on whether or not they live somewhere where their home is in danger, or whether they're not able to be accommodated at a shelter for medical needs. It's mostly for medical. I spent 5 days during Hurricane Dorian arranging flights from islands off the coast of Florida to various locations all across the East Coast to make sure that all the people who were in renal failure did not have disrupted medical service. Every single seat on every single flight matters, and Florida is now allowing that to be privatized and turn into a tool of capitalism, which is dangerous to those who need those priority flights. It's again, I dedicated my whole life to emergency response, specifically hurricanes, because I went through Hurricane Katrina.
This goes back to the same video like we shared yesterday. Serving the country won't make you, I guess, an important person. Let me just put it that in quote.
No, they don't care. No, that's for the morons who follow the propaganda all their life. Like, oh, join the service or help America. They don't give a shit about you. What they done, use you up. If they use you for war or anything else, they don't care about you. They know use you up.
It's crazy.
When I was a teenager, I lived on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. I lost family in New Orleans, and it inspired me to spend a lifetime of education studying climate change and hurricanes, and to work a career in emergency response, and to see this. There's always been problems with capitalism during disasters. It is an entire industry that is full of waste and abuse. So we've always dealt with that. But to have something that is strategically targeted as to consume airport resources, which every single flight does, and prioritize the needs of the well off over those who are medically necessary to evacuate, which every flight that goes off during a hurricane, especially the closer you get to it, is prioritized based on need. And to circumvent that for people who are willing to pay thousands of dollars a year just in case it happens is antithetical to all of the principles of prioritization during an emergency. And it pisses me the fuck off, yet at the same time is not at all surprising for the state of Florida.
Yeah, but that's what is happening on that particular segment. As we move on, we also have more information from
the
Louisiana, where we have the Louisiana House Bill 211 criminalizes homelessness and opens the door to forced labor through loophole. So let me share this as we continue.
It is trying to bring back slavery in every definition of the word in a very, very Republican move. They just passed a bill that makes it a crime to be homeless. House Bill 211 would force unhoused people to choose between jail or involuntary treatment. Oh, and also they would make the homeless people pay for it. If they can't pay, they would be forced to perform unpaid labor. I made a video recently talking about the racist anti-Black vagrancy laws and how historically being poor and Black was criminalized. The bill stands on the shoulders of Louisiana's long history of white supremacy and is a continuation of the Jim Crow laws that shackled our ancestors. This bill perpetuates a cycle of oppression, turning human beings into commodities to be exploited because no matter how you word it, it is 2026 slavery. Mind you, in that same hearing, hypocrisy rained down because Louisiana lawmakers voted to give themselves $1,000 to cover certain housing expenses. So the Louisiana Senate is trying to bring back slavery.
This is really crazy. So if you know,
also take pull this up. Hold on, see. Yeah, they want to criminalize you so you go work with a slave. Remember, you can be a slave if they're in prison. The country's never changed. The country's still wicked. You morons about, I will be American, all you FBA morons. Yeah, so country ain't changed the country because the country still gonna be wicked and evil. So put us up on TikTok. Say Texas, hey, you morons, you weed heads. Now you go to Colorado and A lot of states, weed is legal now. I think in California, but fuck around and take, because Texas has got the biggest black population. They want you in jail. They said not even an ounce, a gram. 1 gram, you'll get 5 to 20 years. Where's a gram? As big as your smaller than your fingernail? How much is a gram? So put it up. Type this though. Said Texas passed new marijuana law. Saying if you're caught with more than a gram or a gram. How much is a gram? Gram's like what? Your toenail? A gram is so small, I don't know what it even is. They gonna lock your black ass up. And what they do? Remember, they know you Negroes are weed heads. You're weed smokers. They ain't do it for meth. They know the white people smoke meth and cocaine and all that shit. But they ain't passing for them. Once again, it's the same old hypocrisy. They didn't pass it for them. They passed it for your ass. Because they know you the weed heads. Huh, Joby?
It's not giving me any feedback. TikTok is
just say Texas new marijuana laws. If not, go type that in YouTube then shit. The Texas new marijuana laws.
Nope. Let me check on YouTube. TikTok is not giving me any.
Can't believe it's everywhere. Now TikTok ain't even showing it. Easy. Say Texas new. Go to YouTube. Say Texas new marijuana law. Or new weed. A new weed law. How you gonna call that shit? I don't smoke that garbage.
There are now new rules in place when it comes to THC products. Sarah Jenkins now with the brief.
That's your brownies too. Even if you guys are eating your brownies. If you guys, I'm not smoking it, I'm eating it in a brownie. You get locked up for 20 years, nigga. Yeah, and you're gonna do slave labor. That's what it's for. See how wicked these goddamn people are? Go ahead, Joe.
Containing intoxicating hemp compounds are coming off store shelves as Texas begins enforcing a rule of it that has been tied up in court for years. Texas tried to ban THC products, but hemp businesses sued, and a court order put the ban on hold while the case made its way through the courts. Now, the Texas Supreme Court has ruled in favor of the state, clearing the way for enforcement to begin. According to the ruling, after July 31st, all hemp products sold in Texas will have to be made with Delta 9 levels compliant with state regulations. The products available will largely be limited to topical and ingestible products, with edibles and beverages containing no more than 0.3% Delta 9 THC. The hemp industry is still challenging other state regulations in court, so the legal fight in Texas is expected to continue. For the brief.
Let's see.
Well, time is running out for Texas retailers to comply with new rules targeting certain THC products. Tomorrow's the deadline when new restrictions will force businesses to remove some of the items from their store shelves, leaving customers perhaps with some questions about what remains legal.
Your weed brownies.
Stiegel live now with the changes that go into effect at midnight. Casey.
Hey, Heather, the dividing line is not simply whether a product can get someone high. It rests on which form of THC it contains and how that compound was created.
And understand, and everybody, even white people call it. They know what this is. They know you niggas are weed heads. You smoke weed. They know what it's for. It's to lock your dumb black asses up. One guy got locked up, got 20 years. You're getting 20 years prison time. That's what this is about. To lock your ass up. Okay? This is the nigga weed law. We'll call it all kind of, let's call it what it is. This is the nigga weed law. Go ahead, Joe.
Cleared the way for the state to enforce its ban on Delta 8, Delta 10, and several related THC products. The ruling, which takes effect Friday, ends a years-long legal block that has kept Texas from fully enforcing rules it adopted in 2021.
It's going to be 50 up to 70% of what their product offerings are no longer compliant.
Sarah Wood is with the Texas Cannabis Policy Center, which opposes the new restrictions. She says licensed sellers already comply with strict testing and labeling requirements and warns the new change could drive customers toward unregulated products.
These policies make our citizens less safe and free. Recriminalizing cannabis empowers the illicit market and puts regulated and companies out of business.
The legal distinction centers on how the THC is produced. Delta 8 and 10 exist naturally in hemp, only in very small amounts. So manufacturers commonly convert other hemp compounds to create stronger doses. Delta 9 is treated differently because state and federal law specifically allow it in a naturally occurring form, provided it doesn't exceed a certain amount of THC by weight. Most products sold in Texas contain Delta 9 THC. The Texas Medical Association supports greater restrictions, arguing the market poses a risk, especially for kids.
And even last year, about 544 calls to our poison control center with children under the age of 5 ingesting these substances. So it is public control, public health issue.
Dr. Bradford Holland says he's not dismissing potential medical use for THC, but contends products sold to the general public can vary widely in strength and purity at the moment, which is why they should face more oversight.
That there needs to be much more regulation and testing before we make any higher levels available. But frankly, we're very comfortable with the current law as it's going to be enacted.
All right.
Yep, they tried to pass it in Kenya. The Kenyan court said nope. They said no. The Rastafarians were trying to pass it, but they said no. This was refused in the 254. But it's not like people are not using it. It's being used at a bigger, wide level and a big percentage. Like he's saying, children at the age of 14. So many children are using it even today, like teenagers, you know. It's crazy. But anyway, as we move on,
it's different than being in America. They use it to lock your black ass up. They're doing it for slave labor because it doesn't make any sense because the amount is minuscule, Joby. See, it's the amount. They do. How much is a gram, guys?
Jason says $20. $5 to $10.
Damn, I don't know how much the shit costs. I mean, how much is it in weight? How much does it cost? I don't smoke that shit. I don't know how much that shit costs. I'm saying, how much is it in measurement, not in price? My bad.
It says $20 is a dab. I don't know what a dab is. $20 is a dab.
Is it what?
A dab.
Oh, I don't know.
Anyway, yeah, but as we get into the main conversation, I'll allow you to take over, Keith, the Gullah, Geechee, the FBA.
Oh, that was similar. To take a left. Yeah. Send your video, Joby.
Okay.
Start with that video.
All right.
Yeah.
Say community. Mm-hmm. Okay, here you have it. That's Just a second. I don't know why my internet is lagging. It's not delivering the video on my laptop. Okay, there we go.
I was debating on making this video, but at this point, I'm there. I'm frustrated. I'm over it. I really, really want y'all to listen to me and listen closely. If you are not Gullah Geechee, stop talking about us. Stop it. I don't care who you think we are. I don't care what paper, what book, what article, what screenshot, what chat GPT say, what none of that stuff say. If you not, shut up. And the ones of y'all who are Gullah
Okay, pause. Let me say something, Joe.
because
Pause
you
that.
should know better.
Pause that. Pause that. Okay, so guys, this is the Geechee Gullah. And remember, all you morons been online, you FBA morons, talking about their Indians. And I told you, I told you guys, I said the Geechee Gullah is going to come for you guys. Opening up your mouth and talking stupid because most of y'all are morons. So now it finally got back to them, and they're telling you to keep your mouth shut and stop trying to call them Indians. They know they came from Africa. They know they're a small, tight knit community, like I told you, in South Carolina and Georgia on that coastline. They know they're not Choctaw and Cherokee, that shit y'all been saying in these dumbass FBA groups. They know that. Since you morons are uneducated, you don't know that. So they're now telling you, please shut your mouth because white people are trying to steal their land, as they always do. And you're trying to classify them as Indians, and you're going to destroy their protective status because the Gullah Geechee idiots are considered a protected race, well, a protected racial group because of their historical nature. They know they come from West Africa. They know they were brought there for their rice-making skills. Don't ever believe this fake history that they tell you, that they went and stole African people. They stole the smartest people out of Africa. Africa was been so destroyed. They went to certain parts of Africa because they studied African people and what each region was best at. And then they went on ahead and stole those people. So that part of America is what? Is known for making rice. The white man didn't know how to do no rice, so he went to the rice coast of Africa and got those people there, the Geechee Gullah. Their language is so linguistically tracked back to Africa. It's crazy because they still got part of it. It's more of a Creole type, but they kept their African language. Have you ever been around the Geechee Gullahs? They kept their African language. So you goofy African, I mean you goofy goddamn Indian Negroes don't got no language. You can't tell me, because even though the Africans were colonized, they still got their language. Africans still got their language while you don't got yours. Africans still got theirs, but you ain't got yours, right? So these Africans taken from America still have what? Their culture. They still have their culture. So you can't tell them who they are trying to call them Indians. They already told you they're not a goddamn Indian. And she's saying, they tell you to keep their name, keep their name out your raggedy mouth. Keep their name out their mouth. Because they don't identify as no Indian, never have been an Indian, and won't accept being no goddamn Indian. So she's telling you, keep your mouth shut, talking about us. You're not part of Geechee. I told you, they don't even mess with you. I told you, they're so close-knit in America, usually Geechee Gullahs, they don't even date most times outside their race. It's rare. I'm saying race, I mean their culture. My fault. They're African people like us. Their culture. They don't date most outside their culture. I learned that years ago when I met this Geechee Gullah lady up in Philadelphia. I didn't know what a Geechee Gullah was, right? I didn't even know what that was. And she told me all about it. I said, what a Geechee Gullah? I was like, what the hell is a Geechee Gullah? And so that what she told me. So we don't date outside our group of people. You're not a Gullah. I said, I'm not a who? I said, I'm not a Gilligan's Island. What are you talking about? I'm like 19 or something. Hey, Gullah? What was a Gullah? What the hell is that? I didn't even know what it was. Because I grew up in the West. I grew up in California. I didn't know about no Georgia, and South Carolina back then. I'd never been to Georgia and South Carolina back then. Never knew nothing about it. So, but she's telling you guys, all this internet chatter, shut your mouth. Because white people out here trying to steal our land. With a few African people still got a bunch of land that they're trying to steal. And you're trying to reclassify us as something we're not. And you're hurting our damn interests out here. So keep your mouth shut. We're not no fucking American Indian, American natives. Keep your damn mouth shut talking about us. I told you, I said that's gonna happen. You morons were talking about, yeah, the Geechee Gullah are American Indians too. I said, uh-oh. I knew this was coming. Go ahead, Joe.
You should know better. All this, the Gullah Geechee ain't African. The Gullah Geechee is native. I done heard that we from Hawaii. I done heard that we some tribe from Oklahoma. And pause, because I do understand that during the Gullah Wars, we had Gullahs who merged with the Black Seminoles, and they did move to Oklahoma, but they were the Black Seminoles. At that point, they were no longer claiming the Gullah Geechee. They were Black Seminoles. They had their own heritage. They had their own history. They had their own thing going on. Okay? And so for y'all to sit up there and say anything contrary to what the definition of a Gullah Geechee is, when you look that shit up, y'all are hindering us. Y'all are speaking from a place, and we know that you don't understand what you're saying. We know that you don't understand the history and the ramifications of what you're saying, the consequences of what you're saying, the consequences of what y'all are trying to put out there as a truth about our people. Y'all don't realize that the only thing that's stopping a lot of people from going and pillaging and plundering and taking everything from us is the fact that we are a protected people with a definition of who we are. We are a protected people, and we still have to fight because they find these loopholes, right? They find these loopholes of, oh yeah, this is Gullah Geechee land and it's supposed to be protected, but I found a eighth cousin who ain't lived down here since they family moved away in 1950, and they about to sell this land because it's air property. They about to sell this land all the way from Detroit, and they got family members still living on this Gullah land down here in the territories. But I'm gonna go find that person out there who don't have no stake in this claim, who ain't got no reason to fight me about it, because it's not their land. They not living there. And I can come in and I can get them to sign this paper, and I can push everybody off this land. Y'all are making it easy so they don't even have to do that, because all they have to do is say, well, the Gullah don't even know who they are. How they are protected people and they don't know who they are. How they trying to keep this land, and they said the Gullah Geechee is Native American. Shouldn't they be on Native reservations?
Exactly.
Y'all
ain't they Indian niggas like us, all moronic, delusional niggas? Ain't they Indians too? Go ahead, Joe.
Use my language to any of my aunties, uncles. My dad be on here sometimes watching my stuff. My niece, all that. I'm sorry, but I gotta say it. Like y'all are messing us up, and y'all don't understand that y'all are working for the government. Those rich people who want to come in and take our stuff. Y'all are agents for them. And y'all do it under the guise of clicks and views, because like I said, most of y'all ain't ever been to the Gullah territories. I don't even care if you are from South Carolina at this point. I don't care if you are from Georgia at this point. If you are not Gullah, then shut the fuck up. And we can tell who was raised Gullah, because we know you would never come out your mouth and say that. Never. Because you know what's at stake. You know they coming to take our stuff. You know we fighting. They fighting on St. Helena. They fighting on Hilton Head. They fighting on St. They fighting on all these islands because they coming in and building these goddamn resorts. These $1 million mansions that we can't even afford to look at, much less try to buy. They fencing off people who their family was buried on cemeteries, and then people came and bought the land the cemetery was on. People can't even go see their ancestor. We can't even go visit the graves. And y'all out here talking about who we are and who we aren't? Are you serious? I'm over it. I'm over it. Y'all are agents of confusion. Anybody who says that the Gullah is not the descendants of enslaved Africans who in that area,
Shut up.
anybody who says that, you a government agent. You a government agent. You a lobbyist for the people who want to take our stuff. You an enemy. You an enemy. Cause I still got land out there. We still fighting for our shit. We still trying to keep our shit while they raising property taxes by the hundreds and thousands every fucking year because they don't want us there. And they can't push us off because we're protected people.
Exactly.
So they try to buy us out. They trying to buy us out, and y'all are helping them not have to do that no more. We are protected people, and y'all are muddying up the definition of that protection. And in a minute, this Gullah
Pause it.
heritage.
They won the. They won the few African. I know you FBA moron saying the slave trade was made up as a psyop and all this crazy shit. I know you're dumb. I know most of you are stupid. That it was a psyop all the way from Angola, Congo, all the way up to Senegal. All those islands. That means it was a psyop in Angola, Gabon, Cameroon, goddamn Nigeria, Togo, Benin, Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, what else? Sierra Leone. These are all the slaves. Mali, Burkina Faso, right? Niger, Senegal, Guinea-Bissau, all those areas, and also in Liberia, all those areas, and then also a few also came out of Kenya, came out of Mozambique, and Tanzania. So all those places, right? All those places, there was a psyop. Go ahead, Joe.
To be so proud of, and my great grandma is Gullah. All that is gonna be obsolete. It ain't gonna matter no more because ain't gonna be no Gullah left. We're gonna be dispersed because they gonna take our stuff because y'all are letting them in the door. Y'all are giving them reasons and rationale to say that we should not be a protected people. Our land should not be protected in this way. We already fighting against what little protections we do have. Y'all just want to just remove it all, rip the Band-Aid off, make sure we don't have nothing left, huh? And like I said, y'all don't have no stake in this. Y'all don't care. I have land. My family still has land in multiple areas in the Gullah Corridor. I hear it. I hear the talks. I hear the town halls where they're saying, oh, what we gonna do? They gonna plan this, and that, and you know that's gonna try to mess us up. What we gonna do? How are we gonna keep this land? What we gonna do? Y'all ain't think about that. Y'all think about running y'all mouth, bumping y'all goddamn gums on this goddamn social media. Y'all ain't think about the real life consequences of nothing y'all saying. My my full-time great grandfather was lynched They killed him on his front porch in front of his children because he wouldn't sell his land out there on Hilton Head. We still have that land. We still ain't sell it. But y'all setting it up so they could just come and take it away from us. Y'all setting it up that his sacrifice don't mean nothing. And there's so many out there. So many ancestors that had the same exact story of how they had to fight, how they had to have losses before we could have peace. For the little bit of time that we had peace before they built that bridge.
Ricky, you see where I was arguing when you're saying that we've lost the history but not the culture, because this is what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? We've lost both, you know, and then looking back at all that history, if history was well preserved, well passed from generations to generation, you'd not be having what she's discussing about, the group of people she's calling out. We'd not be having the FBAs, the so-called Indians, trying to walk away from what they have been truly fighting for to become who they are today. You know, so we've really literally both lost both, because again, like I said, I don't know, we share the same we share the same cultures. It's just that
Duh.
you know,
Oh, Joe, give me a second. Duh. Of course you do. Hold on. Give me a second. Go ahead, talk.
we've been really lied to. So when we're talking about not losing, we've because part of our culture, okay, let me say, part of our culture was, again, when you look at the first video I just shared, African people with the green book, with the shoebox, people, they were moving with unity to help each other, to save each other. You know, it was not about, oh, because you're a Galagichi or you're whatever, you move by yourself. Black people from all parts of the state or whatever, they came together, understood that at that time they were going through the same similar problems, and their safety mattered most. And with the creation of the green book, the shoebox, so both have been lost. Both have been lost, history and culture. Because if I valued about my people's culture, I'm not gonna go against my culture, which is part of my people, and become part of the white people's culture, which is to destroy the black people. If it makes sense now.
All the buckler come back. And y'all just letting the wolf in the hen house. They already there. Y'all just opening the door and letting them in. Letting them come, feel free. But y'all say that y'all American. Baby, we the first black Americans. Let's get that shit straight. And y'all fighting against us. We the first black American. I don't care where you say we originally from. We was here first. The Gullah Geechee, most of y'all roots do come through there, but that don't mean that you one of us. I can tell by the way you talk if you one of us. And I don't mean by the accent and what you say. I mean by how you stand on it.
Exactly.
Because I know.
Exactly. Because standing on it has to be, you have to value where you come from. And that's what I'm talking about, the dignity. I talked about the dignity, right? Because culture, again, I said, actually, that's what I was looking for, what I said earlier. For you to talk about culture, this comes from dignity. You can't talk about culture if you have no dignity. Forget about it. Tafadhali. Respectfully. As an African, I'll tell you, you can never talk about culture. Personally, just me as Joby, I can't go to the village and start talking like the village people. Well, I barely go to the village. I'm sorry. That's how part of, because I have to have, as much as I can, don't get me wrong, I need to have that, let me call it discipline and dignity added, of always wanting to go back to the village every now and then, practice in what they're doing, if it's farming season, harvesting season. You know, those are part of the cultures we consider in Africa. Okay, I'll give you I'm giving you the slightest part of the cultures, okay? But today I won't wake up. I believe that's what she's saying. You want to claim you're part of the Galagichi while you don't even know nothing, no history. You barely even want to associate with these people, when they talk about where originally they come from, what they believe in, dignity, like, you know, I believe that's what she's actually literally explaining. You can never talk, present yourself in a certain way if you're not it. You just can't.
Whole switching.
No matter how many times you force it, you have to really be it. You have to be it. You have to act like it. Yeah.
It ain't even about all that. It's about what you saying on these internets. What you talking about? Who are we? When I hear you define who the Gullah Geechee are, I can tell if you one of us or not. Y'all need to stop this shit. It's a hate crime at that point.
Yeah, literally. So it's I get her point straight and clear. Actually, just it's connecting to what I was saying earlier. Literally, all connected. Dignity goes so well along with who you are, especially as an African person. Why people don't have no dignity, sorry to say, but it's the truth. Why people don't have no personality, they don't have anything, according to me. They have nothing. The only personality they have, and shout to this famous quote I've seen, it says the only innovation why people fail to actually own or accept is racism. Why people don't want to own and accept that they are racist. That's the only innovation they have. And then, you know, same with dignity. You can't claim, you just can't claim you own something when you don't really even care about something. It's really, I'm explaining it in the simplest shallow way terms.
What happened, Joby?
No, I'm talking about the lady I was sharing our video.
Okay. Yeah, she said y'all messing her up because you morons are running around talking about this FBA nonsense, and you don't understand. You're too ignorant to know their situation. The Geechees are such a preserved African culture that they allowed them to become a protected people. So that means they get certain. Go ahead, Joby.
Well, we were earlier talking about the culture, because I was talking about a certain, I was sharing a history video, of course, today being on a Wednesday, and Ricky said we've forgotten history but not our culture. And based on what that lady is talking about, because I was telling Ricky is wrong, we've forgotten both, you know, because culture comes from dignity. And what that lady is saying, she's saying that the people want to talk about the Gullah Geechee people, they don't even know anything about
They don't know none about it. Exactly.
the
None.
culture. So this comes from dignity. Again, that's what I'm saying. Dignity will help you understand your culture. And if you don't have any dignity, you'll never understand your culture as a Black person. That's how simple I'll put it. Because when you want to claim, like she's saying, the FBAs want to claim they are Gullah Geechees, but if you ask them where they are rooted from, they want to say they are Indians, right? So, you know,
Well, a lot of them not claiming they're not really claiming Gullah Geechee. What they're doing, they're saying that even the Gullah Geechee are Indians. Those Indians too, without knowing nothing about them. None of them are not really saying that they are Gullah Geechee. They might say they got some contacts with some of them, but they're saying the Gullah Geechee aren't African. Those are Cherokee. I was like, what? Wow. That was some months ago. I was listening to that shit on TikTok live. I was like, and I told you in the show. I said, watch the Geechee Gullahs start coming for these morons. Because what? They said the Geechee Gullahs are Cherokee and Choctaw, the Indians. Like, no, they're not. Because these morons had so much hate for Africa, they want to now say the transatlantic slave trade was a psyop. It was made up. And morons. All you gotta do. See, most of y'all broke. I know most of y'all broke and fucked up. I'm gonna say, I know most of y'all broke and fucked up. Right? I know y'all ain't got no money, so taking a trip to Africa ain't gonna help. You don't want to go there no way, right? So I get you. But if you just go to any country, don't make it one of the main known ones. You guys all know the main one's Ghana. Now go to ones people don't go. Go to Congo. Go over to go over to Angola, Gabon, go to the countries people never go, Equatorial Guinea, ask them. Because you guys keep forgetting that people lost loved ones too, stupid. You'll say, oh, the Africans, so does African. Some Africans were involved in it. You think the other ones that lost their family had family members that were still left all fucked up over there? You didn't think that? They didn't get the whole family. They got a few people. So people had fathers missing, daughters missing, sons missing, mothers missing. But you're too stupid and lack critical thinking, analytical thinking processes to understand that. That's absolutely absurd. That you didn't know that the people that were kidnapped also had family. Also had lost family members. That's why I showed you that one African prince from somewhere in West Africa, somewhere, I guess it'd be Mali area today, somewhere, right? That ended up in Mississippi. Now, he was a prince. He had wife and kids he'd never seen again in his life. They took him as a slave, whole life, rest of his life in Mississippi, had another wife, and he had 8 more children here. Right? He had kids back in Africa. Is that a psyop? Him being a prince, is that a psyop? When this is a real documented story. So you mean some days went to Africa to get him 200 years ago for a psyop? Well, 300 years ago now, back in the 1700s. As a prince, he was on a hunting expedition, and they kidnapped his ass and the people that was with him, put his ass on a boat to America. Is that a psyop, morons? Did that not really happen? Got motherfuckers on TikTok talking, transatlantic slave trade was a psyop. Was a psyop. Was it? Yeah. That was an old good-fashioned psyop. You're like, God damn. And the sad fact, you FBA morons are so stupid, you're making all black Americans look crazy as cat shit. Everybody's laughing at black people in America because you people are so stupid, so idiotic. You guys all looking like we partially retarded. Don't know what the hell you're talking about. Because you guys didn't know Tariq's people are the lower class black people. I'm going to say it honestly. These are the half dimwit and retarded individuals. They're stupid. So they got them all on TikTok. That's why that's a psyop. Because that's what's being pushed on TikTok everywhere. These morons, you're like, what? What the hell are they talking about? But go ahead, Joe. You're going to get on Tasha K in a minute. Go ahead.
Glad you commented this because I saw this really amazing video yesterday from a Gullah Geechee woman, and she was basically asking FBA not to mention her culture. Like, don't put her culture in this diaspora war. Stop lying that we are not descendants of Africa. And I'll go ahead and put the video here. It was really good. You should go check it out. I saw a few videos from Gullah Geechee people, asking FBA to stop saying they are not African descent. Also in the video I was just talking about, she did, hold other Gullah Geechees accountable for feeding into the bullshit FBA be spreading. Like, y'all know better. Don't do that. But they be on that weird energy because when I first came into this nonsense, I'm bi-ethnic. My mom is Haitian. My dad is Black American. They were talking about, I need to pick a side. What are you talking about? 2 cultures made me. I don't have to pick shit. What the fuck is wrong with y'all?
Beautiful Black Americans. Let's talk about Gullah Geechee folk. Now, in my previous videos, there was a Gullah Geechee elder, and she said she is not African. There was Queen Quet, chiefess of the Gullah Geechee Nation. She talked about her indigenous American Indian heritage. A lot of people were denying it. I got to consult with ChatGPT on this. Hello?
With other groups on Twitter. And so every time I tried to say something about it, they kept telling me I was African. And it was like I was an interloper. And I was like, no, I'm from
This is Tariq Nasheed, actually.
Charleston, South Carolina, born and raised. My family dates back to the early 70s.
Yeah, they do the same thing. Pause it. These FBAs are now doing the same thing. The South Africans did the other side. You ain't South African. You're an immigrant. You're from Ghana, from Nigeria, or from Zimbabwe. You're Kode. Now these FBA morons, if you disagree with these idiots, they're now saying that you're an immigrant. You're not a made up famous a made up nomenclature. You're not an FBA. You're an immigrant. What? Because you don't agree with their ideology. It's the same South African shit. Because I told you, these movements are being led by morons. Tariq's a moron, and his followers are morons. They're the idiot class. That's why it's all filled with hate. Now, I went in on the Africans for their disrespect, but mine's not a hate-filled tirade. Theirs is hate-filled and crazy. So that's what you're getting. And it is hilarious. They calling people say, "Oh, you're not an FBA." You're like, what? I'm not a who? You're not an FBA. Okay. So it's absolutely insane. That's what you're getting. So unless you agree with the ideology, now you're an immigrant. Your family went here during slavery. You're from Jamaica or from Ghana, some damn way, or Nigeria. Are you from Kenya? Where the hell are you from? Are you Kenyan? Are you Togolese? Whatever the hell they call that shit. Remember, most of these morons don't know nothing about Africa or even the Caribbean. On the Caribbean island, they know is Jamaica. Everybody's Jamaican. Now they know the Haitians now too. All they know is Haiti. These morons only know two islands, Haiti and Jamaica. Are you Jamaican? Are you Haiti? Are you Haitian? You moron. You fucking morons.
I couldn't even have a dialogue or a conversation. I kept getting attacked. You know what I mean? And so,
brother, you clearly have a foreign accent. You're not FBA.
Yeah, you're foreign accent.
Yeah.
Foreign accent.
Google Charleston or TikTok.
They understand Southern accents. Most of these morons. You have an accent. Yeah, it's Southern, stupid. I'm from the South. It's a Southern accent, idiot. Oh man, sound like a Ghanaian accent to me. All right, go ahead, Joey.
Accent is that? That's not a Charleston accent. Where are you from? Where are you from, brother? You're not.
Okay, so the crazy part is that the fact that you say it.
Are you Gullah?
Yes, Gullah Geechee.
There you go.
That ain't no girl.
Do you know the different dialects of Gullah Geechee, right?
He don't know that. See, exactly. See, Tariq's stupid. He don't know any Gullah Geechee dialects, that they have different dialects from South Carolina to Georgia, because he's stupid. He don't know none of that. So that's what the guys tell him. He don't know none of that they have different dialects, and they do. That's just he's too stupid to know that. That don't sound like Geechee Gullah. You been down there? You know those folks from Georgia, South Carolina? They have different dialects, dummy. They have different Southern accents, you idiot. Go ahead, Joe.
Brother, that ain't no.
Bro, my family, my dad is a Southern Baptist pastor.
Yeah, brother, that ain't no damn South Carolina accent, brother. Brother, you got a Caribbean accent, brother.
But what is Gullah Geechee?
Yeah, but you can hear the Southern twang in it, bro.
Well, I mean, how do you want me to speak? And this is a conversation I wanted to have because
he don't got no Caribbean accent. This is not stupid Tariq. And his wife is Caribbean. His wife is Caribbean. Somebody got a Caribbean accent. That's what your wife sounds like, Tariq. Your wife is Caribbean. Your wife is Haitian. Your wife is half Haitian, half white. What are you talking about? I'm listening to this, man. I don't hear the Caribbean accent nowhere. You goopy ass nigga. Go ahead. Caribbean.
But brother, that ain't no damn Southern accent, though. Let's keep it above. Wait.
Charleston.
Where my South?
Charleston.
Where my South?
Charleston, bro. Charleston. Born and raised. My birth certificate. Charleston. For real.
Man, I can't believe you. I don't believe you played with Charleston because you don't fit my ideology. I can't believe you raised in Charleston. You know the Geechee Gullahs. I don't want to believe that. You go against my fake made up ideology that I made up called FBA. Get all the rest of these other handkerchief head morons. Go ahead, Joe.
Because it really is our accent that we have different dialects, but it's a mixture of 300 different African accents based on slavery and diaspora.
Exactly.
So
that's true.
South Carolinian?
They all talk to the point. Let me talk. The Gullah came from different parts of West Africa and came together as one community. So they spoke different dialects because they had different languages. Okay? They come out of Guinea, what we call Guinea-Bissau, Cote d'Ivoire, and Sierra Leone. That's the original. That's the area where Geechee Gullah came from. So they had different languages and different African language. So them going to English, the dialects would be different, and also being from different states. South Carolinians don't sound like Georgians. Georgians don't sound like South Carolinians, and they damn sure don't sound like where I sound. I mean, the way people sound where I'm at in the South, I'm in Louisiana. Louisiana people don't sound like no Georgian people or South Carolina people. It's a different dialect, but it's Southern. I'm in Louisiana. They don't sound like they from Georgia. They don't sound like they from no goddamn South Carolina. You know when you hear somebody from Louisiana, instantly. It's a different dialect, but it's Southern, and you know it. Oh shit, there's some Louisiana shit here. Go ahead, Joe.
Let me get South. Yeah, I think he might be from where you at?
Hey,
South.
See, whenever you meet this ideology, oh, I think you may be Caribbean. Are you from Kenya, nigga? Are you really from Kenya? There's some Kenyan ass nigga on the line.
He is not lying. I was locked up with somebody from Charleston, and they sounded just like him. More words.
Exactly.
He is telling the truth.
Thank
He
you.
is straight out of Charleston,
It's
South
2
Carolina.
million of
He sound like Charles.
In the 1780s, newspaper ads proclaimed that 2,424.
I know he's telling the truth. I'm listening. He sound like he's from Charleston. I mean, Tariq ain't never been to Charleston. You don't sound like you from Charleston to me. You been to Charleston, nigga? No, but you don't sound like them. Shut your stupid ass up. Sounds just like that to me. Sounds like I've been to Charleston shit 500 times. He sounds like he's from Charleston. Yeah, you don't sound like you from Charleston, brother. Sound like you're from Haiti, nigga. Haiti? Yeah, that would just sound like. Anyway, let's switch over now, Joe, with Tasha K. Say Tasha K. goes after the is that right? Say Tasha K. goes after the FBA. They come at you, Tasha. They make you apologize, Tasha. Tasha called you guys the KKK. Tasha, you know the sad fact with Tasha. Sad fact with you, Tasha. I knew they were gonna make you bend in there because your money is internet money and your audience is Black American, and they were gonna come and make you bend the knee, or you were gonna go broke. They're gonna stop fucking with you. I knew you weren't gonna stand on business. It ain't the KKK. You went overboard with that bullshit. They are a bunch of morons, yeah. But they got some of their talking points are valid because to make something work, you got to have truth mixed with lies. It can't be all lies. There's got to be some truth in there. But the Africans and Caribbeans being disrespectful, yeah, that's true. That's some truth in that shit. So I can't even deny that. I won't even sound crazy talking about that ain't true. So, but you went a little overboard right here, Tasha K, and they put the boot the ass on you. I'm sorry, girl, they did that to you. They put boot the ass on you. They got you to apologize in less than 24 hours, and they told you apology not accepted. So now they're gonna start fucking with your money, girl. Your money about to get fucked up. Because remember, it's the morons that listen to all that gossip. Remember, Tariq's audience is stupid. So it's the stupid people that listen to all that gossip and entertainment bullshit. It's the moron. It's the moron class. So you should have known that was your audience. That was most of these FBA nuts. So somebody must have told you, hey, girl, you can't, that's your audience. These idiots are your audience. The dummies are the ones listening to all this celebrity gossip and all this who don't give a damn shit. It's the moron. That's your audience, girl. You better get your ass back on there and apologize. Well, go ahead, Joe.
What I would say about the FBA movement, it's no different than the KKK.
Here we go.
Meant to divide.
KKK.
Meant to separate you, to isolate you, to have you looking at other races that look like you.
That's not another race. Pause. See, that's how you know she's stupid. They're not another race, dummy. They're the same race. you're the same race. You're a different damn ethnic group. You're the same race. You're all African people. So it's not looking at a different race. A different ethnic group, yes, but not a different race. See, that's why they listen to you, because they know you're stupid. You're a moron. Have you looking at a different race? Me and Jovi are the same race, but we're different ethnic groups. But we're the same people, the same race. Stupid. That's what xenophobia means. Being hateful to the same race of people or racist to your own race. The people in South Africa are the same people in Ghana, same people in Kenya, but they're ethnically different. Go ahead. All right.
The same foundation and principles that the Ku Klux Klan build themselves on, which is protecting their whiteness, their pureness. Not knowing that they are not pure, it's a lie. And I don't get involved in these types of conversations because it's ridiculous.
Not. You don't. You don't get caught in it because it's not gossip and bullshit and talking about somebody who's butt naked, who's been sucking on each other's penises and going to each other's buttholes. That's your topics. You know it. So I don't know why you ventured over here anyway into this. You don't even know what a race is. Being different races. You shouldn't even brought that. You ain't know that these people are the same race, you moron. Go ahead, Joe.
Anybody that knows me knows that I cannot stand Tasha K. She called me barren. She called me fruitless. She talked about my fertility because I didn't have children. She just really dragged me through the mud as a woman and as a mother. She's absolutely disgusting for how she treated me because of a man and what he said. Anyways, moving forward, the only reason why she's sitting up here calling the FBA, first of all, y'all know I don't scream FBA from the rooftops, but at the core of its meaning, foundational Black American meaning, you do not have an immigrant background. That's all it means. I don't have an immigrant background. Her husband is an African man. Her children are by ethnic. I believe Tasha is American. I know she's from Florida. That's as much as I know. And that's why she's going so hard. But to compare it to the Triple K, as if people that do rep FBA hard are out here lynching. FBA is lynching people? Is FBA stopping people from getting jobs? Is FBA running up into their little Hades and their little enclaves and their little Africa towns and burning it down? Is FBA vandalizing their properties? How is FBA affecting the livelihood of immigrants? So to compare it to the Triple K, who literally used to run up in towns and snatch little Black boys out of their houses to hang them like strange fruit because they whistled at white women, is absolutely diabolical, and it is very dangerous. And to continuously call it an organization when it's literally just people repping their lineage, saying, hey, I don't have an immigrant background. And the only reason why you hear people, anybody, me, I just say I'm a Black American. The only reason why you hear any of us saying anything about any other immigrant group is because it is a response. This is why I've intentionally curated my content in the way that I did, as far as I show you all exactly what it is that I'm reacting to. Very rarely do you see me just get up here and talk. I can do that, but I don't get up here and just talk baselessly and solely out of emotions or spewing hateful rhetoric about groups of people that absolutely is unwarranted. I personally don't do that. So all you have to do is look through the Love Jones Show channel. You can look through my YouTube. You can look through my Facebook Reels page, Hey Love Jones. You can look, well, I don't really post that much on Instagram, but my IG, Hey Love Jones. You can look through here and you will see the nasty things that a lot of these immigrant groups say about Black Americans and the things that they've been saying before we ever even entered the chat. Now, what you are seeing now is called reactionary abuse. The fact that we've literally been getting told we have no culture, we're displaced, we don't know where we're from, we're lazy, we're broke, busted, disgusted, we're at the bottom, nobody likes us, we're obsolete, while everybody has been continuously exploiting our culture, exploiting the resources that they're able to come over here and have because of the brunt and the hard work and the sweat and tears and blood that our ancestors had to pour into this land, is utterly disrespectful. So for us, I just uploaded a video yesterday of a Haitian man unprovoked saying Black Americans don't want to work because they lazy. White Americans don't want to work, but Black Americans are the lazy ones. Black Americans they just slang DRUGS. Black Americans, everybody's just on the EBT, and Black Americans this and that, the third. And it's like it's okay for them to say these things. It's okay for them to wave their flags. There was just a Jamaican Day parade where
exactly. It's been no cutback because as African American, we were nice. We let you in here because we thought we didn't know you came from dirtbag tribal cultures, and that's why shit don't work in Jamaican Africa, because you have no unity. You're dirtbag towards each other. And we didn't know that, so we let it go on for years. We never said, I've been said that years before we can get this saying shit. Man, these motherfuckers be talking crazy. Who the fuck you talking to? I told you. And I never thought these are groups I had problems with. Let me be honest, okay? These are only 3 groups I really had a problem with. I know the Jamaicans, yeah. The Haitians, yeah. I really had no problem with no Nigerians and no Ghanaians and Kenyans, no. The Ethiopians, yeah. The Somalians, yeah. So if you want to be Pacific, okay, I'll be Pacific. Have I had any kind of run-ins with the goofy Nigerians? Nah, not really. Any Kenyans? No, I tried dating a Kenyan girl, I was a teenager. So nah. Ghanaians? Nah, no, but the Somalians? Hell yeah. Hell to the yeah. And I didn't have no problem with the damn Jamaicans and Haitians till I got to, I moved to Florida and was living down in deep, I guess they would call that mid-Florida, down in Tampa. And the crazy talk there, like, what? Who you motherfuckers talking to? It just be, I just thought it was crazy. I didn't understand it. I don't wish you third world Negroes no damn problem. You ain't American group, get your money. But the crazy disrespect and talking crazy to you, like I told you, it was years ago. I know, Keith, you always bring this up. Yeah, I always bring it up. I'm gonna keep bringing it up. So, like I said, years ago, I had a flat tire. Of course, most of you guys got you got AAA service or whatever kind of car service you got, so you have to fix your tire. And no, I'm not a special Negro, but I'm outside. I don't like fixing my tires if I ain't got to. Shit, that's what AAA is for. Shit, right? And that was part of my insurance. So don't go crazy. He's got AAA. Yeah, I like good shit. I'm sorry. So you're mad at me. I didn't want to get down and get dirty and change no tire. Shit, I called AAA ass up. Hey, part of insurance. Where you at, Mr. Newsom? I said, well, I'm over here. I'm over here down the road from what's that damn Tampa Stadium, Raymond, whatever his name was. I'm down from the Tampa Bay Stadium. On such and such road, right? I think it was an Orange Blossom? That was an Orange Blossom. I was on orange. Yeah, it was an orange and something. Can't remember. And so this Haitian guy came out, and I was all nice to the dude. Hey, man, I said, you ain't got, I ain't no rush, man, take your time because it's hot out here. Trying to be, I had a bottle of water. I said, man, you want some water? Then I heard his accent. I didn't know he was Haitian yet until I heard that goofy accent. Let me stop being this. Yeah, but I don't know how to do accents like jokes, so whatever. Yeah, but whatever. I appreciate that. So he starts fixing the tire, and we start talking, small talk. You start talking small talk with Joe, but you don't know nothing, right? I don't tell you nothing. So small talk. So I said, he said, hey, brother, you really from Tampa? I said, no, I'm from LA. Oh, LA, I heard about that place. I like to visit someday. I said, man, it's expensive. You don't want to visit out there. And I was about to say something smart, but I didn't. I said, nigga, you fixing tires. You ain't going to LA. You can't afford to live there. But I didn't say it. You can't afford to live out there. Hey, you a tire repair guy. So I said, yeah, man. I said, yeah, man. It's expensive. Then he said, yes, but also I heard it's dangerous. The blacks don't know how to behave over there. They got the gangs. I said, nah, man, I never lived around the gangs. He's talking about, yeah, in deep LA. You talking about the Crips and the Bloods? Yes, they be shooting each other, all kind of stupid stuff for different colors. Oh, you know, I don't know what's going on with you black people. You got everything and you don't know how to behave. I said, you know, push my buttons. You push my buttons. You got everything and you don't know how to behave. Okay. I'm dealing with one of these kind of niggas. Okay. I said, what you mean we don't know how to behave? You people have been afforded. I said, we people. Yes, you black Americans, you've been afforded everything. You are blessed with everything that other black people around the world. I said, you know we fought for this shit? Why you immigrants, why you immigrants keep talking that fuck shit about we got everything? You know we fought for this stuff? You know that we had apartheid here, like that in South Africa. Do you understand this? America was an apartheid state called segregation, and we couldn't drink out their water faucet. We couldn't go to the bathroom. We couldn't eat. You understand the only reason why you can do that now? Because my people fought in the streets, got shot in the head, died. You understand that? It just the white man just didn't all of a sudden be good and say, "Oh, I'm gonna let you black people have shit." You understand it? Oh, you guys always try to make it more than what it is. I'm like, wow. I said, oh, wow. I said, and I'll be high. I'm about to punch this Haitian in the back of his fucking head while he's fucking with my tie. you black people, you black Americans always try to play the victim and make it harder than what it is. I was like, what? I said, listen here, dude. You're starting to piss me off. I said, you're starting to piss me off. You better just go and focus on that fucking tire. You're starting to piss me off. But yeah, shit. Reason why you can I want to say so bad, but you know, black America we usually be respectful. I want to say that's the reason why your bitch ass can come over here and be in Tampa and change this tire and not around some trash in Haiti. What are you talking about? What are you talking to? No, that conversation was I said, dude, I don't want to talk to you no more. Just go and fix my tire. Just go fix the tire. You got, and that's one thing I believe in, having nice cars. You know, black people, I got that from my father. I ain't gonna lie, I'm messed up like that. I believe in having nice cars. So, you know, he down there fixing my Escalade tire and talking shit. I'm like, and it's a nice car too. I said, yeah, you said we complain a lot. I didn't complain to get the car. And this car costs more than you making a whole motherfucking year. Got that? You understand that? I lost it. This car costs more than you making a whole fucking year. You understand that? Tell me about that shit. Fuck out of here. Fix my tire and get your fuck ass out of here. Dang, it's almost 2 o'clock already, Joey?
Yes, it is literally. Time is going super fast. But yeah, that is super crazy. I just believe the moral of the conversation, or rather what the lesson should be, is let's preserve our dignity. I'll keep saying that every time I can raise it up. It's our dignity. We've lost our dignity as black people, and that's why sadly, a group of
and I don't need that's true. Let me say this real quick. And I don't need you FBA morons money. So you won't make me bend the knee like you did Tasha K. Tasha K came back not even 20 hours later, but I'm sorry, I talked about the FBA. I apologize. They told you apology not accepted. You should know, your audience is the moron class. Go ahead, Joe. Sorry, talk about the dignity.
Yeah, I'm just saying that as black people, for us to be able to fight, we have to go back to our dignity, because black people have been cheated on because they don't have dignity for themselves. They don't know what to stand on. They too confused. Let me just use that. Black people are too confused. They don't know where to stand. And I understand. Sometimes I say I do understand because of the oppression, people are trying to survive, pay bills and all that. So, but at the end of the day, you have to understand what you're giving up for. What are you giving up for? Again, the question is, what's the cost of what you're giving up for? And how long is it going to cost you? Because Black people, we're being costed so much, or rather, so much is costing us because of decisions that were made by people who are before us, just because they wanted to seek some certain validation or acceptance by a group of people. Will never do that. Will never ever do that. But yes, as we wind up, I see Ricky earlier, the first comment he said, I took the 401,000 money and bought 7 tornado damages trailer home. My brother has his own landscape construction and business, land construction business. So, yeah.
Did you? Wait! Did Ricky start, or did he get the money to his goofy brother?
He said I took the 401k money, the 401k money. Bought 7 tornado damage trailer home. My brother.
Oh, okay. He bought a trailer. Okay. You bought it and put on your brother's land. But where is that at, Ricky? No, it ain't in Minnesota, is it? You ain't put no trailer home up there in the cold. That ain't cost no $300,000. Go ahead.
And I also see Ricky, Jason. Jason Jibataba. We have Clock 10. Hope it's been amazing. We have Drum Mosquito. Karibu Sana. I had to step away for a bit to see the eclipse or like this. Okay. Karibu says we have Jarake as well. Ricky says Ghana's president said the same thing. They took Smart One to America. Wow, my dummies.
They did bring the Smart Ones. In fact, that's what they did on purpose. Remember, the whole thing was trying to get the smart ones out of Africa, to start the young and the strong, and then come back and genocide the rest of the Africa. They're going to wipe their ass out. That was a whole scam. We're going to take the strong, we're going to take the smart, and then we're going to come back and wipe the rest of these niggas out and steal the land. They were supposed to genocide all of Africa. That was the goal. But shout out to the African woman, since she has the best genetics. The old African women started sleeping with the younger men that were left. They started repopulating Africa. Nobody knows that story. Old African women started repopulating Africa with the young men. So they couldn't wipe out African people. But that was the thing. They were going to depopulate Africa and then come back and wipe it out. Remember, that's been the whole thing. Shout out to that Kenyan lady who said the same thing. I'm going to share Friday, because we got to do a show tomorrow. I shared Friday. She said she understood that. That's right. They were taking the Africans out of Africa, depopulated, workers to death over here, kill us, get rich, and then come back and wipe the rest of the niggas out in the continent. That was the goal. Wipe their ass out. Wipe us out over here, workers to death over here, and then wipe them back out in the continent, get rid of their ass, wipe them out. But go ahead, Joby.
Raki says the perpetual identity crisis being put on display under war conditions is tiring. Ricky says, I love my families. All of my families do have born in this fight with the FBA. I bet there are families in America close to that our family. John Mosquito says, so the Geechee got the land and certain benefits like the Indians. I didn't know that. And
they got land. They got land in that. Since they were allowed to keep their culture, somehow allowed to keep their African culture. So they know their culture more than most Black Americans do. So when you go to the area, they own all this land on the coast of South Carolina, going down into Georgia. So they own all this land. Is all that, white people always want to put a resort on the beach and tell niggas they can't come. Like they got in Jamaica, Nigeria, like they're trying to do in Kenya, and Mombasa and Diani over there. I can't come to this beach. Like what? So that's what they're trying to do with the Geechee Gullah in South Carolina and Georgia. Buy up the land and kick their ass out of there. And so now they say, oh, these ain't Africans. They're not. They say they're Indians. So they shouldn't be a protected class. They say they're Indians. So shit, let's get rid of that. protective class shit. Go ahead.
Zaba says Tasha K comes across as a nut emo. Jackie says, this internet I'm about done in a few more years. Seriously, purging needs to happen. Shout to Sister Monique. Hope you're doing great and nice to see you. Also, see Jibba says I can't sleep. I can't listen to Tariq for long. He smacks his lips in the mic too much.
Oh man, I can't stand that either. Who's that? Jibba Jabba? Yeah. What you say, Joey? What you about to say, Joey?
What's that smacking the lips on the? What's that like smacking? What the?
Did you be doing it?
What's that? Like I'm not getting smacking the lips on the mic.
Do you know you be doing it? Like this, Joey. What's about going like this?
Nah, I hate it.
Yeah, Joey, let me talk to you. How you doing, girl? A lot of women do that shit. That shit's annoying.
What? A lot of women. I don't.
I said you did it. I said a lot of women. Did I say Joey? I said about no J-O-B-Y. I said a lot of women do that shit. It's annoying.
Yeah, I hate someone who chews loud. I hate someone who smacks. I don't like that shit. No.
Exactly. Those people find it annoying. That's what he does. He smacks his lips. I agree with Jibba Jabba. He does that. You say, and then call somebody else zesty. You sounding zesty, nigga.
He's the zesty one. Like,
exactly. That's the one.
You sound like, we call them in Kenya, we call them chokora. The street kids always have the gum bottle on their mouth, just smelling the gum or whatever, having just the gum bottle on their mouth for no goddamn reason. It's just crazy. Call them chokora. Sounds like that. Jackie says they are living black federal agents. This pathetic abroad with their breasts out again. And says stupid people get platformed. This is the strategy. The Ashkenazis. And then
I agree. It's all Ashkenazi shit. Yep. Keep everybody divided. I agree with you. I definitely agree.
We have my brother says Love Jones is ignorant too. I've seen her channel. She couldn't speak on this.
I Love Jones lady that Joby. I never seen that lady, but when Joby shows her doing some kind of reaction, I never pay attention to that Love Jones lady. I don't never she'll never come in my algorithm. I only see her when Joby shares her video, so I can't make no comment on her goofy ass. Yeah or nay.
Jibba says, Joby, can you change a flat tire or do you have a seat in the truck for that?
You know she gonna have a sip. That's right. Hey Joby, when the tire goes flat, you gonna change it?
I just said I didn't understand the logic behind changing tires or black people have extra tires until the story I just shared from the beginning, right? I just said talking about the green book and the shoe box. There's a story I've shared today again showing how black people survived the sundown, the sundown towns, of course, which we know the green book is included, the shoe box, which I've shared the story of. But
you don't know that, Joby. Joby, it's gonna be
tires in their trucks. I didn't know the logic of people having tires in their trucks because I was like, how come people just have like spare tires in their cars?
And then you go because the tire goes flat, Joby. Hit something and it goes flat. And you gotta change the tire. No.
But now, based on the black story that I've just shared, it shows again black people had no one to depend on but just themselves. So you had to.
I know. You had to do your own tire. That's what we're saying, Joby. Are you gonna have a simp? You're gonna call a simp to come out to you when you have a flat tire to change the tire. Are you gonna do it?
No, without the propaganda being quoted, I'm really a strong, independent woman. Don't play with me, okay?
We're gonna see how strong. We're gonna see how strong and independent she is when she had to change that damn tire.
I've stayed with the propaganda aside. Like for me, I just know I handle my shit alone. I don't.
Yeah, women can change tires. It's not hard to do. You just crank it up, take the lug nuts. You better make sure your lug, but you better make sure it's tightened. You go down the road and the wheels come off and you be dead. You better make sure you when you put the.
I don't like simps anyway. If you're a simp, you have to be sending money. That's the only way you can be my simp. You know, you just have to send me money, and then I'm gonna call a mechanic who's gonna come fix my car.
Okay. We just asking for a friend.
No, I'm telling you the truth. Tell the friend that the only way you can become my simp is if you're sending money, because the money is gonna provide the rest of the things. Simple as that. Yeah. If you're signing for the simp application, that's the only qualification, you know. Literally, the application, money, trust funds only. But anyway, much love, family. Have yourselves a beautiful day, and see you guys.
So y'all better watch out about going to Africa. Think women are cheap. Listen to Joby ass. Joby already in your pocket already, and no good ass.
I got bills to pay. I have me to take care of. You know, my hair is due. I have to take care of my hair. My nails are due. So shit. Yeah.
Hey, Joby, wasn't you taking care of that before I met you?
Yeah, but when
you doing that before I met you?
Why in my lifetime? You know, get the fuck out if you can't do nothing. That's how simple. Sorry. Okay. You're not gonna be a simp and you're not doing anything. Block. Block and deleted. But much love, family. Have a beautiful day, guys. Tomorrow.
What's up, family?
And we're out.